Hey there, big boys, and welcome to another video breakdown today on the longest Warthog possible. And this is totally the first time I'm recording this and not the second, because I forgot to, have the video preview on the same monitor that I'm recording. Epic. Anyways, let's get started right away. The very first thing to talk about in this video, I think, is the audio channels. So you may not have noticed this when watching the video. Here's the main timeline with pretty much everything in it. What you may not have noticed is almost all the audio in this video is Foley or like fake. I took the game sound effects, isolated them in the editing tools, and then put them back into the video and like restructured all the audio, because most of this video was recorded in multiplayer with a bunch of dudes. And thank you to those people who helped with the machinima parts, because that shit it's a test of your patience, that's for sure. Yeah, so pretty much all this audio is completely restructured from pieces, and that's why all these audio channels exist, and why I have so much crap down here just polluting the crap out of the timeline. And yeah, that's an interesting thing about this video. I don't usually have to do that much like Foley audio. I usually I use the game's audio like as it is most of the time, but this is one of those cases where I couldn't. So anyways, moving right along as well, we can talk about opening scene here with Master Snake, and the obvious thing to talk about is, why is Master Chief white? And the answer is because I forgot. So if you didn't know, I'll go ahead and open up the editing tools and show you guys some random Halo trivia. Master Chief is not actually green by default. If you open up his character right here and pop open his model and then his main shader, which is the armor, and then we go down here, you will see he is actually white by default. And how it works is there is a special mask in Master Chief's shader that is a color change option, and that is the alpha, I believe. Like, I'm at least like it's written here somewhere, but this black and white texture determines what parts of the armor should change color when given a color change option. Actually, no, alpha is an auxiliary mask. It's the blue. The blue is the one that is highest. I was wrong. It's the blue part. And the green part is a glowing effect, and then a red is usually a shininess value, but that's not present here. And the color change options are just listed here, and they can be set to whatever you want. By default, it's white, but you can make it any color you want. You want to be hot pink, you go for it, and that's how the multiplayer colors work in Halo 1. But yeah, just a fun fact, I forgot to set it for this cutscene, so we ended up with white Master Chief, and it just slipped my mind. I really should have noticed, but hey, I'm so used to playing in multiplayer where we're always purple and red and stuff. I forgot Master Chief's supposed to be green. So let's go ahead and bring up the actual file for this cutscene too, because it's a little interesting. It's broken up into multiple parts. It was animated by me. I am not a good animator. Wow. I'm terrible at animating, actually. But I tried my best, and I did well enough. I by my standards, I did well enough. But yes, here's the file. This Master Chief model is not actually the default one. It's a custom one I made that has a rigged helmet that can be detached. He doesn't actually have anything underneath it by default. And he also has the snake head, which is also attached, but it uses its own little skeleton I put in, and it's like, I can rotate it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. It's this bone. It's this bone. This is Snake's neck, which can be moved around, and then Snake, if you want to use the part that's actually correct, here's the part that's rigged, so it can move around. It's not rigged well. I did what I could with what I had, and what I had was, I don't know how to rig, but it does work, and you can go make it. And yeah, this is just, I put this together. I animated it. It's this is the animation tools are. I don't know if I could explain these easily to someone who hasn't used them before, but the idea is that you more or less, with each individual part of the model, you pose it how you want on a specific frame, and it interpolates, and then you use this tool right here to adjust the curve of the interpolation, whether it should be a fast or a slow or a smooth tangent. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to explain this. Just it's magic. If you don't know what animation is, it's done by wizards with magical tools, and also I'm bad at it because you want to see something bad. This is the animation that gave me a headache, and it's going from prone to a crouch. It's not good. I tried. I really tried. Please don't make fun of me. I tried to make it look smooth and natural. I can't do it. At least not without like a couple months of practice. So that's that. That's those animations. Like I said, I think it turned out all right. It's just, I worked with what I had. After that, we have the actual first 2 shots of the video. Most of it is just multiplayer machinima shots where I just directed them to drive up and do specific actions, and most of these are very simple shots. There's actually something interesting about these camera work here. So I will open up the editor and show you guys this real quick. I think it's kind of cool. Sorry, editor. I mean the game. Which one of these is the actual one? I should probably release these extra maps. Well, they're not really functional though. So if we go to Chimera Dev Nerd 1, and then we object. So let's see. What was it? What's the command? Oh boy. I think it's. No? Is that not it? I'm gonna have to check. Apologies. I don't know this command off the top of my head anymore. Let's see. Data. Cursed. Cinematic. Levels. Cinematic. Hog Gold script stuff. It is. I need a glass of water. Other way around. I was close. I really was. It's camera 1 player, or camera 0 player. So this camera work is scripted camera work. It uses the game's cutscene engine, and it attaches a moving camera that is relative to the player. And I would attach it to one of the players in the vehicle, and it would give me a really nice, clean shot of them from like a kind of a generic outer camera angle like this. And I could pull the FOV in as far or as far away or as close as I wanted. And I had a couple different variants of it. One was like from further away on the side. Another one was up above. And yeah, I like this. I think these worked out really nice in the video and they look good. Still retain complete control of your character while you're doing it too. It's like GTA Halo. And yeah, I think this is a cool technique. And if anyone wants these scripts, they're very simple. But they are a little annoying to set up because they're relative to the 0 of the world. So you have to like put camera points around the center of the world space. But this is what these scripts look like for these camera movements. Yeah, cool stuff. Now, aside from that, nothing else really interesting about these shots. That's about it. And here's the first actual shot that's on a green screen. So this is a technique that I use a lot, where I record myself on a green screen, but I also record the background as it is. So this is the actual correct background for this shot, but I have green screen my character into it instead of having him actually on the shot itself. And the reason is because if I want to do perspective trickery, I need to be able to move my character and the background independently. In this case, I have the FOV pull out in the background, and I have the FOV pull in on the character, so that I can create this perspective shift that I like, where it looks It looks spooky. That's something that's fun to do. Here's a little shot that's a sub. This is like a little, oh god, tons of fucking files in here. Gay hearts. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, it is kind of gay. Yeah, it's just a bunch of different layers that composite together to make these little sparkles and stuff. The sparkles are kind of interesting. It's actually this is a little hack I did. It's one of these little noise maps like this that moves with time. But I have two of them that are different and they're multiplied together, so it creates a like individual points of light, like a star map. And then I just run a couple filters over it to make it glow, and it makes the background sparkle, but only in the places where the heart isn't at. And the rest is just like little animated bits. Funny enough, I only use like this much of it in the video. I actually did more than I needed to. But yeah, that's the little cute heart thing. Super gay. Love it. Sometimes you need a little gay in your life. Okay, I'll load it back up. My god, my computer's having a little bit of trouble with this right now. But it's okay, because he can take it. The tall Warthog. So, unironically, this thing, no joke, this was not intended. This shot right here, where they come around the corner and they just beef it super hard into the rock. Not intended, but really funny, and I kept it in. The only bad thing is, they started flipping the Warthog, so I had to cut it early. The timing, the comedic timing for this is like just ever so slightly off, because if you keep going on this shot after I've cut it, you notice that they start trying to flip the Warthog over, and it just starts spazzing out, and it kind of ruined it for me. And I had to cut it from there. But still, really like that shot. It's just so perfectly framed because of how it was. This is just us trying to drive it as well. It is undrivable. You can kind of drive it on Desert Warthog because the map is very flat and very gradual, and it's just it's just a very slightly curved road for most of the duration. But trying to drive it in Blood Gulch, you're doomed. There's no hope. Thing is god awful. Some more Warthogs. I'm just gonna keep skipping along these very simple shots that are just straight on. Lots of stuff like this. God, my voice is having a hard time this morning. I don't know. Hope I don't got the virus, as it were. I feel fine though, so probably not. Yeah, stuff like this. I absolutely love the way Master Chief stands up in the seat with this. This is one of those things where like I put it together and I was like, oh my god, it's adorable when I actually tested it, because it's he looks like a little kid trying to drive his dad's car. Is great. So here's another shot. This is actually I guess this is a good point to bring apart the machinima part. So I was like, that was an absolute non-statement. That was a stroke. I think this is a good place to talk about the actual machinima of this. So like I said before, almost every shot in this video is machinima. Almost well over half of it is machinima. With like 8-ish people in a server. And I just want to talk about how difficult it is to shoot that kind of stuff. So with my normal workflow, when I'm working on a video like this, I will basically just like look at the next few shots I need. I'll open the game up, I'll set up the shots as I need to, set up the cameras, and then I'll just shoot it, record it, put it in the video, make sure it's right, edit it real fast, and then move on to the next section. But when you're doing machinima, you can't do that, because you're going to get like 8 people together all at one time, and they're going to be waiting on you pretty much the whole time to like get shots ready. So I have to plan out every shot we're going to do in multiplayer beforehand. I had to write up what I actually did in the script. I'll bring it up real quick. Is oh boy, Google Docs. Gotta get to my scripts. If you didn't know, I script like all my videos very heavily to try and make them flow very nicely and be very interesting. But I highlight anything that's highlighted in blue or in orange or red is multiplayer. And I mean, yeah, you end up with a lot of stuff that I have to plan out. And so I'll plan everything out, and I'll make sure I know exactly where I need these shots to be and how I need them to be. And it's just difficult because I don't know if I got it right until later. And if I have to reshoot it, I have to get a bunch more people together. It's just, shooting machinima is really stressful. And I have a lot of respect for Rooster Teeth and Reverse Blue and all the different people out there who do machinima, because it's painful. It's just very painful trying to plan it all out and get it all right on the first take and not have to go back and reshoot a whole bunch of stuff later. I think we had like 4 or 5 shots I had to reshoot. This is one of them. This shot was timed really badly when we shot it the first time, and what I did was I split screened it. And this is the oldest technique in the book. I shot the left hand and the right hand parts separately, and then I just stitched them together. It's the same shot twice, but with the 2 different pieces of it. And there's basically just a line, between them. It's a split. In this case, I used a little pattern here to do it, to not mess with the sky, because the sky will not look right if you put a line through it. But yeah, that's a split screen shot in a video game. I guess this is one of those times where I should recommend Captain Disillusion, because I kind of learned that from him. I mean, I think I already knew how to do it, but he told me the history of it, and I liked that, and I love him. He's a great guy. So anyways, moving on we have the shot with this is just a Final Fantasy X kind of thing. This is my phone, sorry about that. Final Fantasy X intro bit. Most people will know what that is if they are, my age, but I'm old as hell, so. Moving on. This is another shot where I just spliced 2 together, but I also I masked the sky, because if you don't mask the sky changes when you cut between 2 shots like this. But works really well. I just see the Warthog itself, I think I dropped it from a height, so when it switches, it's actually landing from a great height, which causes the suspension to bounce, which I think looked better than just having it appear without any movement at all. That's just, stuff. Here's this. This is actually a mistake. There shouldn't be headlights, but I forgot to remove them, and I thought that's a lot of effort. I don't really want to have to recompile the map again and reset the shot up, so I just left it. Really should have. I mean, it doesn't make any sense why there's headlights, but, hey. Sometimes it do be like that, dog. Some shots of the toolkit. This is just a shot of Blood Gulch with a color filter, and then I believe a dodge over it with just a white dodge over the top to give it a specific look. Maybe it was a burn. I can't remember. One of those 2 things. I'm also using this is the font from Halo 3, I believe, which good font. I really like the way it looks. Here's a Vsauce bit. Everybody loves Vsauce. Vsauce is great. Here's some shots of. This is using the 3D motion tracky wacky thing to give the window give it the appearance of being at an angle and stuff. I like to do that sometimes. I think it's kind of a if you when you're doing this right, you shouldn't be showing like program windows straight on. You should almost always try and show them at an angle or something, because it gives them like proper depth and it looks a little bit better. It looks a little more professional if you're doing it well. I've seen some YouTube channels do that really well, though I cannot fucking name them. I don't remember where I've seen this, but I don't even know why. This is a tangent. I just feel like instead of just showing you a notepad.exe, at least I like try to bring it into the video and give it some like motion and depth to it, but it's difficult to do that right. And oof, it's very easy to make it look stupid. This is actually also fake. The console for Halo is at the bottom left of the screen, and I just blue screened it out and put it at the top left and made it bigger so it was easier to read. But that is actually the command that I wrote that loads the vehicle up, and it does just that. Puts a bunch of Marines in there, apparently, and it puts a Sergeant Johnson in there. Very important. Gotta have that Sergeant Johnson. Very, very important. This is yeah. I had a hard time with getting this shot because the Marines honestly kill all these Covenant like almost instantly, because of the fact that there are so many of them, and they just, I mean, just look at this poor jackal. He lives for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 frames. He doesn't even live a second. From the start of that battle to him dead, it was only 25 frames. Like, very... they just murderize them so fast. What's up here? Actually, don't even know what this is. Oh, I was entering a command. That's what it was. So yeah, this is making fun of some. This is a Gmod joke. This particular like box is this texture is the texture that's the missing texture in the source engine, and the error is of course the error from before is the error from Gmod as well, and from source in general. I don't know. I like those jokes are funny. I like the meme of having like missing objects and textures incorrectly assigned from another game. It's a stupid joke. Ignore me. Big hog, thick hog, super thick hogs, super loud thick that I recorded. Sorry about that. Man, and they just really annihilate that thing, don't they? Thin hog. This thing is really hard to drive to, actually. This one, and this is actually interesting as well, is this thin hog actually drives better in MCC for some reason. I think MCC's physics are very slightly different from Halo 1's physics. Because in Halo 1, it tends to rock and roll over very easy, but in MCC, it drives very straight. So, I don't know. It may just be an inconsistency with MCC in some form, but it works out in this case. Some shots. They always, dude. It took forever for them to get the shot. They kept wrecking every time we tried to go over this jump. It's so bad. This was a reshoot. We did this later because I actually forgot to get this shot entirely before. And that's actually not me, because when you die in free camera, the game returns you to the proper camera state. So this is someone else posing as me to get the shot really fast. What else do we say here? Doing the voice for this part hurts my throat, but it's worth it. Damien said I sound like the Cookie Monster, and I was insulted. I would sound like the Cookie Monster. It's very mean. Okay, more very standard shots. Let's get to the good stuff. We should probably check on the ad part. So this part is fairly complicated too. This is a NordVPN ad. Inferno Plus gotta eat, gotta make that money. The first part is obviously a green screen. So when I walk on the screen after that bit, this is all green screened and post. Here's some bread. This is also another case of my character is green screened into the shot, but that is the actual background, and it's so I can have the bread appear both in front and behind me. I don't know. I just thought it looked better. So this laptop, boy, this laptop, it exists. It's a real laptop in the game I built, and it has a green screen on the screen. Now, what's funny is I didn't think about this at the time, but this is a green screen on green background with grass, and there's a green teleporter over here that's the same shade. Probably should have not used the green screen. Probably should have used a different color in this case. Maybe a pink screen. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of a pain. I had to tweak the settings to get that chroma key just right, because it kept making everything else get washed out when I was doing it, and it took a little while to get that tweaked just right. I could have masked it, but I didn't really want to make it, because when you mask stuff like this, you end up with some a little bit of a, what's the word? You end up with some trace. What's the word? Like seams. Like you can sometimes see the seams of where the masking is for this kind of stuff. It's better to just do it in a single pass green screen if possible. And if you have to use like multiple layers of masks, you could do that. It's just gonna be a little tougher to make it look right. But anyways, yes, all the stuff on the thing is I type in Warthog prawn with an O as a classic meme, and this is the thing I posted on Twitter, which is the Warthog prawn dot max, which is a real 3ds Max file. That's I think it's in here. Hogs.max. Oh yes. I animated this. I actually feel like I did a decent job with this particular animation. I got the suspension to bounce as the warthogs hit each other, and the wheels spin, and then they just they rock back and forth, and the turrets go up and down. It's just so bad. It truly is terrible, but I liked it. I was gonna put it into the game engine and render it there, but it actually would have been a lot of work to go through the trouble to bring this into Halo, to actually render it in Halo, so I rendered it in 3ds Max as a preview. I think the jankiness almost adds to the joke in a way, so it's all right. It all works out. But yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is, and where it came from. And thank you, Nord, for not denying me this, because I kind of was thinking they might say no to this particular this particular advertisement. I was honestly convinced between that and having great leader spying on me through a sniper rifle, which is actually kind of a throwback to Red vs. Blue, with Church spying on Red base with a sniper rifle constantly from the cliffs. I thought they would say no and tell me to take that out, but they're pretty cool. They were cool with it, and I kind of appreciate that. This is I took a invisibility power up, and I took the middle out of it in a 3ds Max, and I just put this in as a post thing, and it works fine. Nothing to say there. I had to crop, and when you're in free camera, the picked up active camouflage appears, despite having the HUD turned off. It just appears, and I had to like crop the whole shot around that. Kind of annoying, but I got it sorted out. This is just me using NordVPN on his computer. It's pretty much the same shot every time with this, where I just green screen out the screen, and then I motion track I use the 3D motion track to put the screen back in the right spot, and then I can move it around like this if I want. And yeah, and then just fucking that, and Hogchamp, Hoggers, Hog and chat. All right, now we can go and move back to. I think we were here, right? No, we were past that. We were all the way along to here, I imagine now. And is there any interesting shit to show? Most of this is pretty basic. Yeah, just some text and some bleh. This is super sped up. I'm just skipping along to what would be interesting about the video itself. Oh man, so these parts where we have people walking on the top of the Warthog. Halo 1 is laggy, and a lot of times they'd try to walk across this Warthog and they would lag off the side of it and fall, and it was bad time. Everyone, the audio for these clips is just everyone yelling and screeching because they can't get across it. Rather funny, but just a side effect of Halo 1 having really old netcode. I think the main problem is that the rotational values and the positional values are truncated to some very small floating point precision, like probably only like a couple of digits of precision. And as a result, there's a little bit of a desync between where it is on the client, where it is on the server. So you end up with these problems where it's a little bit laggy and gross, and that just tends to be like that. This is actually a shot that was kind of annoying to get. That is actually not a black screen. It's actually me physically growing. I wrote a script that makes my character embiggen. Yes, my character embiggens over a set period, and then I just recorded it on a background and left the shadow so I could see the shadow and stuff. And this is just color correction nonsense. I kind of fucked it up a little bit, but it's a mistake. But it was like it's fine. I just needed to be Demon Boy for a second. Demonic Warthog Man is my name. Here's a shot. So this is a multiplayer shot that someone fucked up. I ain't gonna name names, but so in the original shot, this dude right here, who's supposed to be the driver, he jumps and misses the driver's seat and just lands. Now, that's a problem because the timing for this was really tight. I needed him to get in. So I actually went through the fucking trouble to fix it and masking him properly to not miss that jump and get in on the first try. Pain in the ass, but I fixed it. It was all good. And we had this little shot of me on the ceiling. This Warthog works perfectly fine, mind you. There's nowhere to put it on any map because there's no map where driving on the ceiling is a good idea, but it does work, and it's cool. And I wish there was a map that would have made it useful, but there's not. And Desert Warthog obviously doesn't have one because it would just fall into the sky, and that would be the end of it. Here's these two bad boys. Yeah, this shot is actually worked out perfectly. It's a split right here, to where you can kind of see the split. This one guy moves in a fade, but everything else is fine. And just a rocket hits him. Just memes. Yeah, Hover Hog. More of these third-person camera shots. Spaz Hog. This is recorded in single player. This Warthog does not work in multiplayer because it's random, and randomness desyncs. And so this Warthog in multiplayer is just a desync mess. And so I just recorded it with a couple of Marine boys instead. And, there you go. It's a goofy little Warthog. Big Warthog. Riding the passenger seat of a big Warthog. I'll move along a little quicker. What else is interesting? Oh yeah, this bad boy. This is actually a thing we did. We spawned in a bunch of Banshees and had the Banshees chase the big Warthog around the map, and we were shooting at it. That was fun. Just like, I almost feel like you can make a mod around this. Like, a bunch of small vehicles have to fight one giant vehicle or something. Would probably work better in the newer Halo engines because the physics in Halo 1 are just so they're so Halo 1. This is a fake shot. I actually cropped this in because I didn't want to figure out how to time this in real time, so I just masked the other Warthog in the scene to pretend like I was running me over, but actually did not actually run me over. Lazy. Call me lazy. Nothing else to say here. All this is just straight on. Just, this is really funny. So, just so you guys know, the scaled up Warthog, this giant Warthog, the physics are scaled up too. It can just drive over cliffs. Like, the suspension will just pop up and just go right over these massive cliffs. Like, these cliffs are, like, to scale, like, maybe 200 feet, 300 feet, something like that. Warthog wheels just go right over them. Don't even care. It's amazing that works. I was surprised to find that stuff just works exactly as you'd expect it to. Really cool thing about that. I really enjoyed messing with that stuff. It was a lot of fun. Some more of these shots. These dudes they had so much trouble getting up this thing. It's too steep. You can see here in the video the Warthog teleports a lot here. This is actually just the Warthog being janked. Like, it's so long that the imprecision of the rotational values is causing it to, like, wobble and teleport. Like, look at that movement. Like, it goes like 5 degrees in that one frame. Shit is jank. Super jank. Super jank. And that's like the point where it was basically all broken. And so of course we have the last Warthog here, the Infinity Hog. This thing is absurdly long. People have asked me how many seats are on it. I don't know. And I'm not going to count it because it would take a really long time. But yeah, it's just this big. And this camera track is massive. Like, when you get into it, and the camera pulls out, this is real. This is what happens is like, the camera boings out because I had to make a camera track that was, like, to scale with the Warthog. And it's still too small. Technically, the camera track needs to be bigger than this, but I can't make it any bigger than this. without it bugging out a lot. So yeah, super best. The suspension is totally broken. You can see that here, and also it's so big that the atmospheric fog doesn't know what to do. You notice the Warthog is very washed out here. It's actually because the game's atmospheric fog thinks the Warthog is really far away, so it's putting the dust of the desert over it, even though it's close to the camera, because it's just so big the game can't. The game can't is a good way to describe this in general. But yeah, the suspension is broken. I don't know why. It is set up correctly in the physics and in the animation tags, but it just acts broken. I think it just can't. It just can't. And yeah, there's all sorts of things wrong with it. It barely drives. It gets stuck all the time. It used to freak out and you clip into the ground a bunch, and I managed to fix that by changing some values around. And yeah, it's just stupidly, absurdly, massively long. And that's the end of the video. I have the patron credits here. This is just like out in the middle of the desert somewhere for anyone who's a patron. Thank you all for supporting the channel and supporting me making these fucking terrible mods. And that's about it. What wonder if there's anything else I should show though, like anything in the mod itself. I'll start the desert actually. I think you guys that might be interesting. So the actual desert itself. Here's the table with Master Chief for scale that I made. I modeled this laptop. I took a picture of a laptop off Google Images and just like, bam, there you go, laptop. It's a Lenovo. You can actually see that. It's in the texture right here. It's a little Lenovo laptop. I mean, it works. Hey, if it works, it works. Sometimes you just got to go for it. There's the little masks that attach to people's faces for the memes. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is something that plays. I forgot about this. This is a custom animation I did for the near the end of the video. My character get depressed. I just made I tried to make the animation from Dark Souls. What's it called? The one that oh boy, I can't remember his name anymore. It's been so long since I played Dark Souls, honestly. Hawkwood teaches you the depression one. It's called like, oh god, I have to look it up. I don't know. Halo 3 or Dark Souls 3 depression. Who knows? What's it called? This is bothering me. It's not important, but it's bothering me. What is it called? Collapse. There it is. Yes, I was trying to make Collapse from Dark Souls 3. At first, I actually did it from standing position, but then I realized it was way too hard, and I just went from here to there. And it works. It's just a quick little animation. Not a lot of keyframes, but I was in a rush at this point, so yeah, just something fun. I think adding these kinds of little animations into it adds to the video in a way, like just having not every shot be heads bobbing up and down is important, I think. So anyways, the level itself, desert Warthog. So the main thing about this map is it truly is like at the very limit of what can be done with Halo's engine. So it is as big as possible. So if I make it any bigger, I hit an integer limit. It's like around 32,000 units or something like that, and it just breaks. So this is the maximum size that can be managed, from what I can tell. And the actual poly count for the map is fairly high. It's now Halo's weird. So like the actual maximum triangle count is like not something I know, but this is 41,000, which is very high. And with it being so big, the UVW map for this, the actual texture that's mapped to the desert itself, it's actually so big that the unwrap gets truncated to 0 in places. So basically the simple way to put this is the map is so big that the values that define how textures are mapped get truncated all the way to 0, and it makes some of the faces degenerate because they are 0 surface area. That's like the best way I can describe that. And I had trouble with that. I had to do some fancy shenanigans to fix some bugs with this map that were preventing it from rendering. And the lighting for this was terrible. There's actually bugs all over the map that I can pull up. Let me just go ahead and pop that open and say pione. There's a lot of lighting bugs, and oh my god, come on. This program should not take any time to load. It's old as sin, but yet it takes forever to load. Come on. There you go. So yeah, here's some of the biggest hogs. You'll notice these like spots where the shadows are there's just shadows here. There shouldn't be a shadow here. That is just the lighting engine giving the fuck up. It just can't. Halo just can't in some places. So we talk about the actual scenery as well. The cactuses and the rocks. So those are placed as scenery objects afterwards. Let's talk about the portaling. So the portaling, these white planes that are positioned everywhere. I'm gonna get off this object because it takes forever to. There we go. What is the? I think it's a boy. I don't remember the button. There you go. Oh god, yeah. This is a thing that happens. 3ds Max is old. So these planes that segment the map, you can actually see them better from here. How they are basically zoning the map. The idea is that I wanted to portal this around the cliffs themselves, so all of the portaling for this map goes around the cliff faces that block view, so as to try and make this map render sort of efficiently. It works. I didn't see any problems with it when I was testing, so I think I did a good enough job. And yeah, I mean that's all that's really said about it. But this portaling is very specific to the way this map is built, and I think I did a good job with it. Cue someone who's better at it than me, being like, well, actually, you should have done segments around here, and here. You should have done here, and here, and here to get optimal portal efficiency. I don't even think the developers for Halo know how to do portals. They're so fucking weird. They don't make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's the whole desert, the whole shape of it, and I'm gonna close that because it's artifacting my screen. It's awful. I don't know. I'm sure there's some more stuff I'm forgetting. With these videos, it's hard to remember every little detail of the whole build for the whole project. But I think that's about it. I still need to make that 20XX video. I said I'd do this where I break down 20XX, but that's a video for another day. And let me know what you guys think. Let you guys know what to see. I'm always taking suggestions. I take notes. There is a document for people who are interested. There is a document I have that has every idea for a Cursed Halo sequel that I've thought of, and it's getting filled up. I'm getting I've had lots of good ideas. I've had people suggest things that I like. I want to make a Cursed Halo 2. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet. I have some ideas. I have some thoughts about how to approach it. I think it's probably going to be single player only, since it seemed that the single player part is what people enjoyed the most about Cursed Halo. So I'm probably going to specifically target that and take it a lot further. But for now, I don't know exactly when or what or how. So that's still up in the air. But just want to let you guys know that's on my mind. And I think with that, I'm going to end this video. Everybody, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. And do not forget to floss your teeth. It's very important.